name's Laura Hunter. Welcome to my Thursday Live. I am so glad you're here. We have something really fun to do today. I love October because the last few Thursdays of October, I always do fun Halloween looks that you can do with regular makeup. And this is a really, really good one. I've always wanted to do it. And I think we can even improve on it a little bit, which is great. We're going to do this amazing 3D spider look right here. Okay, here's the plan. Last time I did this without references, and of course I've never done it before. I always do it the first time with you guys, but I needed references. So this time I have handy dandy references. Here they are, up close and personal. All right, now we're gonna go back and forth to this, and I'll be able to see a lot better, and it will be, I think, a lot easier this time. So I'm excited about that. And I don't forget to comment and this time not share, tag. We're changing things up a little bit. All right, so what we're gonna do is instead of just sharing, what we want to do is get people to come watch with us, to come do this with us, you guys. So we want you to tag your friends. We're gonna go back through before the end of next week and we're gonna see how many of those people who were tagged got on and watched live. And the person with the most people that came on to watch live, over 5, you have to have over 5 people, they are going to win. And then of course we would love you to comment, but instead of doing a prize for commenting and a prize for the call to action, we're now gonna do a prize for commenting live and a smaller prize for commenting in the replay, but still a prize. Because we wanna do 3 prizes, but we want to have people actually come and watch and hang out. So we want to make sure that we're doing something that's actually benefiting all of us, right? All right, so that's what we're going to do. Tag your friends. You can share too. We love shares. But definitely tag your friends, and we're going to see how many of you guys have the most friends that pay attention to what you ask them to do. So that's exciting. All right, now then, we are going to move on, and let's talk about 3D spiders. Okay, you ready? Let's check this thing out. All right. Here's what we're looking at. So this is a tough one, you guys, but it's not as hard as it looks. The thing that makes this a little bit harder is the shapes, but once you see them, then it actually gets pretty easy. And the real key here is the shadows. It's all about the shadows. That's what makes it 3D. And those shadows aren't going to be hard to put on. All right, so let's look at our reference material and talk a little bit about what it is that we're seeing here. All right, so we have our first few photos, and I'm looking at mine right here. Our first few photos across the top, those are people who've already done this, right? And they have some things in common and some things that are different. One thing I'm noticing is that in the 2 end ones where the eye is the spider, and that's what we're gonna do on this eye, where the eye is the spider, first of all, they both have 10-legged spiders. I don't know what's happening here. It must just feel like people are all looking at the same maybe video or something and not counting that spiders have 8, not 10 legs. So we'll fix that. The other thing is that these legs all kind of come out evenly of their spiders, and that's not how spider legs really are. So if you look at this bottom middle one, that's a picture of a spider. And so that's a real one, not a drawing. And so there's some things you'll notice. First of all, and you can also see there's a drawing that's very similar next to it. And if you look at those two, what you see is that the legs don't come out of the bottom half of the spider at all. Not even the bottom, like, third. It's really like the top third to a quarter. So where all the legs actually protrude from. So we're going to fix that. Also, they all tend to do it so that the spider is crawling onto their nose. But I think it's going to be a lot easier to have the spider going this way off their face. Because then as you see that the spider's front legs are the longest. And so what we want to have some space there. And so they're putting these little tiny legs, which is supposed to be the front. That's not probably going to work so well. All right, so also let's look at the joints. Now that is the other thing that makes this look 3D. If you look closely at the joints, you can see that they're basically triangles. They're like really long, skinny triangles. And at the top of each triangle and the bottom of each triangle, there's a dot. And the reason there's a dot is because that's where the light hits it, because it's the highest spot. It kind of goes out and down and out and down. So that's what we're going to also focus on. And then as you can see, like I was talking about, these shadows. You see it in every drawing and you see it in the photo. We're going to copy the photo more than these drawings because it's a real photo and that's going to be the most realistic. So that's kind of the Black Widow we're going for, is that one on the white in the middle, the photo. But we have all this reference just so we can get it perfect. All right, so now what we need is only a couple of things. We need an eyeliner in black. We need one in white. And if you want to do red, you need some red liquid lip. This is Velvet Kisses. Or any kind of red, black, and white face paint will also work, but we have makeup, so let's use it. You can also use, let's see where, I know it's right here, there we go. You can use some sort of a stick roll-up liner. These aren't very black, so this is better for outlining. This is just a cheapy one I bought at the Dollar Tree that I use just for outlining, because then I put a good, this is Ultra Wing Liner, then I use this over it. And so this is a much better product. So works. So these are the ones you want to really use when you put it on. Also, if you want to, and particularly if you use something that's not as waterproof as our products, you might want to use a good black eyeshadow. So this one here, this is in our 24K palette. This is the blackest black I've ever seen in my life. So if you want a really black that's a shadow, this guy. And does have a little sparkle, which is kind of fun for, and it's actually 24 karat gold, not sparkle, so that's cool. All right, so those are some options. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. All right, looking at my reference material. Let's check it out one more time. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the basic spider, and I am going to use my eyeball as the body of the spider. But, okay, so let's look at the reference material. What you're seeing is that theirs are really like oval spiders, and spiders aren't generally that oval, so we're gonna add a little bit bigger here and a little smaller here. All right, let's do this thing. And I'm going to start drawing with my cheapy liner, and then I'm going to fill in with the good stuff. All right, and I already have my makeup on, obviously. And that, I actually did that on purpose for two reasons. One, well, because I'm on a video and I don't want to look terrible, but also the real reason is because these are great things that you can do in not that much time. It'll take longer for us because I'm talking through it. But if you were just to do this, it isn't actually going to take that long. This is something you can come home from work before a Halloween party, you're taking your kids out or whatever you're going to do, and you can just throw this on and be really very impressive without changing your makeup or anything. You're just going to do this thing to your eye. It's going to be fun. All right, so here we go. All right, so first things first, I'm going to do a little, and you know how I'm always like tap, 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 tap? Do that. It is so much easier than trying to draw. So just little dotted lines are great. So this is going to be my spider head. There we go, right about there. Now, hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. If you make a mistake, just fix it, it's fine. So my spider right now is aiming up a little ways, I just realized, so I'm literally just gonna, this is the cheapy stuff, it'll just wipe right off. I'm gonna just make the head a little bit shorter. I don't really want my spider facing up. I want my spider facing more just out. There we go. All right, and then my eye, the rest of my eye here. This is the easy part. Spider body. And I'm gonna go below it a little bit, just so it's like very black, right? All right, well, let's talk about legs, baby. All right, this is the part that I think people just really, they just don't pay attention to reality. Let me make my reference big and frightening. All right. I don't like spiders, but for some reason, black widows don't seem as gross to me. Maybe it's the red. Maybe it's because they're so black, you don't see a lot of definition. Like those little brown recluse, which are way smaller, but they jump. They're terrifying. Okay, so here we go, legs. So we have all of the legs are going to come from this section, right? So I'm going to start with the back ones. So I'm seeing these back legs, and they go like, there's, oh, and count the segments. I also noticed some of the other reference ones, they had a lot of segments. Like these were some segmenty legs, right? They have 3. 1, 2, 3. See? 1, 2, 3. There's only 3. And these 3 back ones are all about even length. So just pay attention to stuff like that. Just give it a good look. All right, so right from here, and I'm going to go back, almost straight back. Here we go, 1. And I'm just doing this lightly. I'm going to go over it again later with, better stuff. And then it has a little angle, 2. And then it comes back up just a little. 3. Okay, let's keep going. All right, now I'm gonna do all the bottom and then all the top. All right, so we're gonna go, then this guy. Again, one, kind of straight. This one goes a little further forward actually, so let's go one. And then, and there's two there, but they're almost straight. So we're just gonna go 2, 3. All right, next one, this one comes out. And it's gonna come up this way. And then it has a little shorter one and a longer one that's got a little curl to it, which is creepy looking. By the way, that little bit of curl, that's creepy looking. That's one of the things that makes it scary. All right, and then the big guy. The big scary arm. So I've noticed that like a lot of times these spiders, and you see pictures of them, they'll have one of them like bent and the other one way out. It makes it even creepier. So I might bend I think I'll probably bend the top one a little and have this one kind of reaching out and make it creepier. All right, so it's gonna go out like this. And then I'm just gonna go straight. And then it's gonna have that really gross curl. Blah. Okay, now top one. All right, so now these top ones, same thing, but this is a little bit easier because, and then this is why I wanted to do this one a little bit shorter also, because there's less space here, right? It makes this look creepier, and it also gives us a little bit more room to work with. Okay, so the next one, we're just going right over our eyebrow because this spider is huge and he's just crawling all over our face. And then this one's got a pretty good turn to it. So he's really, which is convenient for us. Maybe not that much. And then like that, right? Then we have this little guy that goes the other way. We'll just pick that up right there. And then the last one, which is gonna go quite at an angle back. There we go. You guys will be able to see that. That looks so much more like the shape of an actual spider. That is helpful. All right, now then, I also want to draw in my diamond pattern. So now, like you guys can see, there is a diamond pattern here, and then here's kind of one where it's, you know, estimated because that's a drawing. But basically, what it really is there's a circle like right about here, and then there's a diamond, right? Yep, there's a diamond and a diamond. So we're going to put those in. And I'm not going to fill that in with black. I'm just going to leave it and just put red in it because, of course, it's just easier to put the red on my skin. It's going to stick better than it is if I try to put it on the black. All right. That's the main part. Oh, and they do have these little, like, eyeball spots here. So I would just, you know, remind yourself by maybe drawing just a little line on each side so you don't forget that. All right. Now then, we're going to do the shadow after we're all done. So first we just do this, right? Not so hard so far. All right, so I'm going to take my Ultra Wing liner, and this is the part. Now we're just going to trace this whole guy. So now that we have a good line to trace, and if you have, you know, a little extra skin on your eyes like most of us, feel free to, you know, kind of pull that, tighten it up a bit, however you want to do it. That didn't help me any, but, and as you see, I instantly go back to, okay, let's go ... Always a good idea to go ... And yeah, we want this to look like a real spider, but I mean, I'm letting that dry. Let's be real here. It's not gonna look like a real spider. It's okay if it's not perfect, guys. All right, so now, the other reason, there's a couple reasons actually to do underneath. One, not daddy long legs, no, also creepy. Black widows have very round, like lower abdomens. I'm sure there's some very technical name for their lower abdomen. But we want to, you know, really make this socket round. Also, it's your eye socket is round, right? So if you use that roundness, it's just going to make it even better if you use that whole round part, because it's going to give it dimension by itself, which means the light's going to hit it and make its own highlight, which will make it even better. So you really want to just follow the dimension of your actual eye socket. It's the easiest, cheater way to do it. All right, so, and if you have a hard time making a straight line, because it's not the easiest thing in the world to make a straight line with makeup. One, you can fix it. Two, go on the inside and then go out a little, like whatever you got to do. But you can always just fix it. Like I made a little dot there. I'll probably just make it part of the legs. All right. Other important thing, we're obviously going to want to do our waterline and our tight line. Well, let me fill this in first. Now remember, we're avoiding our little spots that we made for the red. So like that. Once we're done with this, I should have it made a little bit shorter because this is going to take a few minutes. This one will be a long one. We won't have a lot of announcements after, so that makes it easy, but still, it's going to be a little longer. Like I said, when you're trying to... All right, so since this part right here is just going to be one dot of red, I'm just going to go ahead and go through it. I think it's going to be easier than going the other way. Says, Mom, I'm already looking creepy. All right, pull this guy up here. Do my tight line. Do my water line. And I'm going to go back over this probably with the works too, because I just want this to be so black. All right, now then, the little triangles. All right, look at our reference. All right, so the triangles are smaller, closer to the body. So what we want to do is kind of make, let's start on this big one here so it's easy to see. All right, so you want to make just a little, you can even just start with a circle and then go in like that. And then come back out. And you guys, everybody's gonna have an easier job with one tool than another. If it's hard for you to use this, then you can do the works. And let's do a couple with the works just so we can try it both ways. Okay. Go, whoop. That's a new one. Okay. Get that on there. All right, and it might be easier just to do it this way. All right, let's see, next leg. I don't know why I had to reference that. A triangle is a triangle. Okay, so this one, like that. Oh, I think it is a little bit easier. All right, so works is a good tool for this. And then we're just gonna, so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of coming out a little further each time. There we go, so it makes a bit of a triangle. All right, so now it's gonna do the same thing. Now we're gonna come straight out of that. See how this is bigger? And then we make another little triangle. And then same thing, this one is just straight. And you'll notice also in the reference picture, this last line on the first two legs is actually not black, it's red. So I'm gonna go back over it with red to make it real creepy, because that red is creepy. All right, here we go. And just like last week, like this is an exercise in a lot of going over it, because we just want it really black. And I'm just using the works brush that comes with the works. Triangle, triangle. I can't decide which I like better, if it's easier. And I'm gonna wait on this front one here because I'm gonna do these two front ones with just red, because the front ones are very red, I noticed. All right, and if you had a smaller brush in your arsenal, like a paintbrush, this might, and you're a good painter, that might be a good choice too. But yeah, it's just basically, there we go. It's funny because the spider's gonna be creepy anyway, but it's the shadow. When we get the shadow on there, whole different world. Okay, let's fill this guy's head in. Last week when we did something similar, we did the works first and then we went back over a little bit with the Ultra Wing, and that worked really well. So I think that's what I'll probably do here. So this is kind of first pass. Okay, let's see, we've got to remember that it goes big to little. Oh, that helped. That little pull out, that was nice for a leg. All right. And let's try that again. That worked well. I like that. Okay, let's see here. And then we have this guy. All right. Trying to make him a little thicker there, and then just pull it down. Same here, little. And then this one is, these little end ones are thin, so it's good to just boop. We can always clean them up a little later, no big deal. All right, bottom. Okay, a little thicker here, triangle. Triangle. So as you can see, like the bottom ones are backwards. So the first two are like thin on the inside, then thick, thin on the inside, then thick. And the last one is thick on the body side and then thin. Because that little thing's like a fingernail. Yuck. Alrighty. All right, let's see last one. So you go thick on the outside first, make our little triangle. And then we're going to pull that down. There we go. And then this one, opposite, see? Make a little triangle, pull it down. I'm gonna go back and tidy all those little edges up. All right, not bad to start. All right, let's go back over it with our ultra. Get that nice and black. Yeah, that makes a big difference. We'll definitely want to wait, I mean, not a long time, but we'll want to wait a little while before we go put the white on this. So we do want to make sure that this is all the way dry. See how nice that looks? Because we want it all the way dry, of course, because we don't want the white to turn gray. We want our white to be white so it looks like a pop of light hitting it. And that is an important thing that we're going to talk about in a minute, and that is where the light comes from, because that is what makes our shadows look real. And why we're going to follow a real picture instead of a drawing, because then you know it's correct. Okay. Making faces. You got to make faces. Sorry about my dinging. I forgot to turn off my iPad. My iPad sound. And I started doing this, and now I'm like, uh-oh. There we go. I'm liking this, you guys. I'm liking it. It's just a trust the process moment, like Megan always says. She's always like, oh my gosh, this is a big trust the process one. Because it, it always looks a bit mess at first. There we go. All right, see this one's kind of bigger back leg. Whoop, hitting stuff. I thought I fixed that last week. All right, and then kind of a little triangle there. And then this guy. There we go. And a very light touch I'm doing on these ends, guys. Triangle. And then same. Oops, I missed. All right, that one's gonna have to shake it off. That's a big miss. Other ones I was like, I can fix that later, but that guy's gotta go. But it's a good example of just fixing it anyway. So, good to see. Good to see. While I'm in here, let's fix a couple of the boo-boos. A little right here. It's a bit big there. See how easy this is to fix boo-boos, you guys? I mean, geez. Touching this up is just no big deal. Plus, there's going to be a shadow under it too, so a little teeny bit, it's not going to matter. It's just going to be part of the shadow. All right. Here we go. And that guy. Here we go. And this guy here. You could, I'm thinking, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of another. I was thinking I could kind of get rid of my eyebrow if I wanted to, but that wouldn't make sense. Why would I not have an eyebrow? Because it was a spider on my face. Never mind. Don't go over your eyebrow with your foundation. Bad idea. Don't do it. Okay, so then I am going to do just a little here just to give myself a line, but I'm gonna go over it with red. And this creepy guy too, remember, curved. Bleh. All right, guys, it's already looking pretty good, I gotta say. Okay, so now then, it's time to do let's do a little bit of red first, because that'll give our black time to get nice and dry. Don't fall down. So I'm using the Works in red. Oh, wait, I want to make sure I don't use the wrong, because I need to make sure that I have a white. Okay, I don't have 3 different small brushes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brushy cleanie and I'm just gonna get that black off there really well. You could also use Shake It Off if you wanted. All right, because I don't want to use anything on the one I'm gonna use white on. Let's get this on here. This should be pretty easy because it's already the right shape. So we're just gonna stamp, 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 stamp. Yeah, that was really easy, you guys. Now that does have to dry though. I don't want to accidentally get it on the top part. And then there should be another little dot. I probably can just do that with this. There. Now that looks like a Black Widow. I like it. Now I'm also going to see, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to get it on my, kind of putting it on the lashes. Yeah, it kind of worked. It's all right. The idea is there. I don't think anybody's going to doubt it. Alrighty, now then I'm going to put this back on here so I don't drop it. So I'm going to take this same guy. Let me grab a tissue. I'm going to wipe off one side. I don't want too much on here. And I'm going to do these. I'm going to go over that in red. Well, maybe I need a little more. Again, good. But isn't it creepier looking with the red? The red really does make a good, I think it just really makes a difference. All right, here we go. And if it makes it a little bit too pink, it's okay. You can go over it with a little black, darken it up. And I'll put a little bit over this one too, remember? Oop, bit much. It's all right, we'll fix it. There, we'll go back and fix that up a bit. No biggie. Okay, let's take a peek. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna wipe this guy back off because we're gonna go into black with it again in a bit. There we go. Okay, go back to my Q-tip. Get that, I don't want it too much. I'm gonna fix this guy right here because that was excessive. There, see, no biggie. This one's a bit much too, I think. Oops. Fingers are tools, there we go. All better. All right, white. Oh wait, I forgot to do the head with this one. This I feel like is pretty important right here to get this really black. And the head's a very creepy part and you want it well defined. You don't want to look like it's part of the shadow. I've got my 2 little pointies coming out. So you guys, it's almost like a cat head. Seriously, like you don't think about it, but like if you can draw a little, cat head icon, you got this. So I don't know if I told you guys this before, but way back in the day, I used to do window painting. And, we do these big like snowmen and Christmas trees and all that kind of stuff. And it never looked like anything until you put the white highlights on it. And it was so easy to put the white highlights on it, but it just made a huge difference. So this is the best part. All right, so let's look at our reference. Now what you're gonna see, and I'm really just putting a lot of white on the very tip of my brush. And I'm just going to do and I'm gonna wipe a little off even. I'm not going to draw, I'm just gonna stamp. And I'm gonna stamp right at where each of those joints meets. on both sides. So stamp, 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 stamp. Hope you guys can see that well. See? And let me check my brush. A little bit more on there. I'm putting way more on the tip than on the bottom. And then stamp. The bigger the joint is, the bigger there should be a stamp, because it's going to see more, it's going to get more light on it. There's a little joint there, joint there, joint there, there. Here's a bigger one. That. A little bit more. I feel like trying to draw it would end up being a bad choice. We're only going to draw a couple little spots, and I'll show you why. Did I get them all? Nope, missed this guy. And then right around like here on the head, do here on the body. And we also want to have a highlight like on our, there we go. So you get some light going there. There we go. I feel like that looks pretty right. Now the one place I do think it would be good, and I'm gonna wipe a lot of this off because I just want a little line. The one place I do think it would be good to have a line is on like maybe one of these longer legs on each side. So just to give it like a highlight of light coming across it. So let's do that one, and then we'll do this one. Let's see, where's this one? There we go. Maybe even one more right here. Just to show that there's, there you go, to see that there's dimension, like roundness. So if you want to go back, if you want to get uber artsy, you can. Just put that tiny bit of dimension in a couple places. It makes a big difference. All right, here's the best part coming. Here we go. The shadow. Okay, now there's a few ways you can do the shadow. I am not sure which is going to be the best way. I kind of am leaning towards using an eyeshadow because it's going to be so much easier to blend out. And you know, shadows aren't very, they're blurry, right? They're not super strong usually. And so let's look at our references again. Now the real shadow you see, it's definitely a little blurry and it's a lot lighter than the actual spider is. Let me put my lids on stuff and clean up here, because now I got a mess and I need to be able to figure out what I'm doing. All right, let's look. Oh my gosh, it's not reacting to my face. That's funny. Okay, here we go. Now, you see how that's working? The shadows underneath it are pretty straight. The important thing to look at is where is the light coming from? So if you look at this, you can see that the shadow is under, like below, and just a little bit to my left of the spider. So that means that the light is coming from above to the right. So think about that. Every time you do your shadow, make sure you think, okay, if the light's here, where's that shadow gonna end up? Because that is the thing that will ruin your 3D effect, is if your shadow is in the wrong place. So make sure that you think that through before you do it. Sometimes people will I'll even do it here. I'm gonna take a little of this white. We're gonna wipe this off after. Let's decide where our light's coming from here. That's our light spot. And now we can say to ourselves, wait, where would that hit, right? That's gonna make things look so much more real. All right, here we are. Let's do it. Oh, this is a tough one. How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to use, because you know how I like my blending brush for things like this. It's very soft, it's round. And if we don't like this method, I'm just going to put a tiny of this black on it and we'll blow it off. If this method doesn't work, we're going to do a different one. It's going to be fun. All right, so our light is coming from here. I'm looking at my reference, about the same. So what's the easiest one to start with? I'm going to start with this long one right here. Let's see, this one. And I'm gonna say it's gonna go like that. I don't think that's too bad. Pretty good. And we can always lighten them up a little after too. I do feel like this might be too wide. I think I'm okay with it on that. Let's do these bottom ones where the shadow's gonna be a little bigger. Like under the body. So this way, right? So we wanna do a shadow here, here. See, and this is why it wasn't that big of a deal if we got a little something under there. A little under there. Here we go. Now I am going to use a smaller brush. I'm going to use, remember this one we used last week? A little foundation brush from our brush kit. I'm blowing all this off. And if you wanted to use like a brown, it might not be a bad idea. That way it's just not quite this dark, because I feel like this is a little too dark for this. All right, next one. Light. So we're going to go like that. I'm not even going to put another, like more on. All right, let me look at my reference. See what we're looking at here. Oh, it liked my eye this time. All right, so now this guy and that guy. So here is where it's gonna switch. So this light's coming down here. So we're gonna see, now it's gonna be on the other side a little bit. And here it's gonna be way on the other side. Because you see now that light is coming this way over here. Whereas this guy here is on that side. You see what I'm saying? Where it switched? There we go. And interestingly, if you really look at this, and this is, you know, extra credit. If you think about this, this is going to come down like this, right? That means this is going to actually cross over right here. That shadow actually would go like that. Just to add a little extra realism. All right, and so here we are down here. Look at that guy. Just making sure that my theory matches my reference. Same here. So this is going to go over here. Like that. And then this one, I'm going to bring over here. And these are very light shadows, which is great. We like a really light shadow. There we go. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think I have one weird spot right there that I'm going to fix. Don't know what I was doing right there. See, shadow, shadow, shadow. Oops, I missed one. I do need a little bit more in here for that. So this guy, look at that one, look at this one. So this, the light's coming right here. You just got to think it through. So I think it's going to be more like under, it's going to be partially under there. And they should have kind of, you know, if it's bigger, the shadow gets a little bigger and then it gets a little smaller, right? So this is a little bigger, then it gets smaller. That we're going to erase. We don't even know what happened there. Same here, this should be a little wider. It's just a matter of kind of copying the shape. A little wider here, and it gets smaller. Same, little wider here, and smaller. Wider there, the wider here. I don't know, I'm creeped out. What about you guys? Okay. I think I might have done it. That's pretty cool. All right, let's wipe off a couple little spots with our Q-tip. Like I definitely have a weird shadow right here that doesn't belong there. Okay, so I have couple little spots. Let's wipe this one off here, right there. That one, it just didn't belong there. I think that it's a little bit dark right here. So I'm just lightening it a little bit. There's a little spot right there that doesn't belong, I don't think. Oopsie, this definitely shouldn't be red. There we go. I think we're pretty good there. Now, we want to go back in and make sure that we have contrast between our shadow, wrong side, and our body. So right here, I really want to make this a nice straight line. And so I'm just going to tap it. Make sure it's a very, very straight black line, because that'll really help with the illusion. There we go. I want to make sure that this that I got eyeshadow and stuff on is black. I'm just literally going to color my lashes there. All right. And now for the little final. Let's grab, where'd it go? Here it is. Let's get some mascara going on. And this is nice because you don't have to worry about getting it anywhere. Just do it. I know I have lashes on, but I'm doing it anyway. It's Halloween. Okay, so I got that. Put a little bit on this side just for fun. Oh, I have this, I keep getting these things and they never work. So I thought I'd try this one. This is one of these, this is a Revlon one. This is one of these, like you're supposed to put it underneath your here so you don't get stuff under it. And these things never work. But I thought this one's a little different because it's flexible. Problem is, I mean, it's black, so you're not making it messy. But I don't know how the hairs are actually getting anything on them. Oh yeah, that doesn't work at all. All right, well, don't get that thing. Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, I don't see how that's going to do anything at all because it doesn't let you use the brush. All right, well, that didn't work. Worth a look. All right, so here we go, a little more right here. And like I said, lid, we're going to do, or this is the lid. We're going to do one more coat with black. Dun, dun, dun. And that's the white one. Where's our black one? Here we go. It was the red too, so let's give that a good wipe. We're gonna do one more. We want to really get our tight line and our waterline really well done. All right. Aha, yeah, this is good. Extra. Extra. Have you guys seen, oh my gosh, what is that show? Oh, it's so funny. Not Brigadoon. It's like Brigadoon. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. Schmigadoon. Oh my God, it's so funny. You should watch it. Anyway, I say extra all the time because of it. All right. And, oh, speaking of funny stories, I have to tell you guys, I don't know why I didn't tell you this already. All right. So my mother hated black widow spiders. When I was a little kid, oh, we should wipe this off. When I was a little kid, we got a load of beauty bark. She also hated beauty bark. We got a load of beauty bark and it was infested with black widow spiders. They had to tend to our whole house to kill them all. It wasn't the spiders, it was eggs, but then they all hatched. It was very traumatic. And so up until the day she died, my mom, like if you told her you got beauty bark, she'd be like, it's infested with spiders. That stuff's a bunch of crap. Ah! So yeah, I cannot think of black widow spiders ever in my life without thinking about like my house being tented like E.T. and like my mom being crazy about beauty bark for the rest of my life. Strange things that happen. All right, so just making sure I'm getting all of this very black, very round, properly connected, all of that kind of stuff. There we go. Could use a little bit more roundness here. And like I keep telling you guys, just keep working at it. It's okay. You can fix it. You can go back and do some more. You can take some off. Just keep at it for a little bit. It'll be fine. I mean, this is so making the body a little bit rounder here. It felt a little skinny because they're so round, black widows. That feels more like a spider body to me. I like it. I feel like it's dimensional and scary and creepy. It would be a good costume. And if I just popped it on, it wouldn't have taken anywhere near as long. Okay, we did it. Yay. That's awesome. Okay, guys, let's look at some winners. We have Thaiso Ortiz Burrell, Pamela Raymond, and Mayrose Aguada Gaston. Okay, a couple other things. Do not forget Party in Pink is coming. We're so excited about Party in Pink. We love doing this every year. We are going to have huge sales And we are going to have an awesome donation reward where if you donate $25, you get a gift certificate for 10% off, good for up to $25. So therefore it's free. You can donate and it will be free, which is amazing. We are going to have flash sales. We are going to have regular sales. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have amazing people to talk to you guys about stuff that is so important, and breast cancer awareness and finding a cure is really, really important. So I hope you guys will help us and you guys will be there and support us and support people who are suffering with breast cancer. So don't forget, 26th, next Thursday, be there. We have our Pretty in Pink lashes. That is our lash of the month. That is super important. And also, it's our lash bundle of the month. Actually, not lash of the month, lash bundle. And also we have our Killing It, because it's Halloween month, our Killing It and Killing It bundles. So we have our Scream Queen and our amazing palette, and those are both on sale. They are 25% off, so grab those while you can. Get them in time for Halloween. They are beautiful. Here, let me grab it. There's the palette, our Killing It palette. Let's see here. This is Scream Queen and Sinister's the lip. So, whoop, dropping stuff. So pretty. Isn't that so beautiful? These are the most beautiful colors. Oh, I was going to use them today, but then I did this guy. I'm going to use them next week. Don't forget, we have our makeup masterclass. It is Tuesday at 6 p.m. It's on Zoom. Come sign up for it on our Tori Bell Cosmetics page, and we cannot wait to see you there. And we're going to use the stuff from our really amazing November box. All right, guys, don't forget, we have our Hit and Win. If you have $1,000 in sales over the course of the month, you get $150 minimum awesome surprise box. So don't forget that. And I think that is about it. I will see you guys next week, and I cannot wait until Party in Pink. Hope you enjoyed this look. It's super fun. Oh, here, let me give you the screenshot if you need one so you can redo it later. Fun stuff. Okay, guys, I will talk to you next Thursday. Bye.